Joe?
Hey, James.
Hey, dog. Sorry about that, man.
Oh,
I guess I've just been on the move and jumping from time zone to time zone. And for some reason in my mind, I was thinking we were starting this at noon, not 11 a.m. So
oh, you're good. No
I just
worries.
scramble my way here.
So you're on the West Coast?
Yeah. I'm in Vancouver right now.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Well, it's nice to
Uh,
officially meet you.
yeah, absolutely. I don't. Well, I guess it's becoming like over the years, it's becoming easier and easier to meet like-minded folks who enjoy this little hobby. There used to just be a few of us that I was aware of, and suddenly it's like there's this epidemic of film stalkers, and getting to talk to them and figure out what they enjoy, how they go about it, what their experiences are like is always fun. So I'm looking forward to this.
100%. Yeah. And thanks for hopping on. And yeah, I think that's kind of the reason I wanted to, reach out to you is because, you're one of the first people I kind of saw on, social media. So it's kind of cool to talk to people who else is in the film tourism industry and film making industry in general and just kind of, hear their thoughts and what they love to do and all that good stuff. So,
Is
but
film tourism actually an industry now?
I think so. I don't know. It seems like it's growing, ever growing.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely growing. Yeah,
I
yeah.
consider it a thing. I'm
I,
into
I've
it.
no- I've noticed like yeah, it's grown to the point where the challenge of it has kind of drifted from one area to another. It used to be the challenge was finding the places. Now the challenge is not being a nuisance.
Totally, 100%.
There's so many of us. So how long have you been doing this? I guess I first became aware of you and your app maybe 2 years ago or so.
So for me, so the app we kind of came out about a couple of years ago. I think you were kind of one of the first people when I started the app's Instagram, you were one of the first people that I saw on there. And one of the early people was you that I kind of started following. And I've actually, my personal Instagram, I started following other people too. So I may or may not have overlapped with those accounts. So I probably
Mhm.
started following you, when you started as well. But I really got into film tourism when maybe probably around 2016, 2017.
Okay.
I did a couple months stint in Austin, Texas. And that was kind of really when right after I graduated college. And I was like, oh, you know what? I could go visit, the Texas chainsaw houses, all this other cool stuff. And started doing that, every day I could. And I started, I fell in love with it. Because before then I actually like did visit locations, but it wasn't as much of a thing. I didn't, go for the
Yeah.
pictures or anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh, this is cool. I went to school in Savannah, Georgia. So I
Same
was
here.
like, you went to school in Savannah?
No, just
Oh, okay.
how our approach when we got to the locations was so much more casual at
Yes,
first, and it kind of becomes more and more precise and more scientific as time goes on. Yeah,
it totally does. Yeah. And then so I did a little, after Austin, I moved out to Portland, Oregon, which is where I was there for about 3.5 years.
nice.
And we did a big trip for my birthday to Sacramento, me and a bunch of my friends, and we did the Birds and the Scream locations. And it was kind of like my first real trip for locations. And it was such a cool experience. And I loved every minute of it. And my buddy, he used to work for Nike. He was like, hey, like, do you have a catalog of all these locations? I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you want me to like make you a website or make you an app for this? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh,
So
that's
it was kind of
awesome.
like basically a personal thing for myself at the time. But then I was like, oh, there's a lot of people who are into this and hopefully they can get use out of it too. So yeah, just kind of went
Okay.
from there. So then I kind of just restarted researching whoever I could who's in the industry. So it's kind of cool to, see how it's grown, especially over the past couple of years.
Yeah, it really has. It's funny you mentioned the Texas Chainsaw House because I want to say I was there. I think it was 2014, 2015.
Okay.
I was there. It was quite some time ago, and back then, the way I approached a lot of my, I mean, I kind of kick myself now because I kind of have this proportionate scale determining how thorough I'm willing to be at a certain location. Like I'm always so terrified of being seen as an oversharer, like
Okay.
just like somebody who's just desperate for attention. So if it's a location where it's like I'm just kind of a moderate admirer of it or respecter of it, I'll just do kind of a one and done thing and be happy
Mhm.
and not be very thorough. Whereas if it's something that like has really marked my life, then I'll get really in detail, and I don't care if it's a 3 second shot. I'll get that shot just because I love it so much. So when I was at the Texas Chainsaw House, it was just, yeah, get that one shot of the front and call it a day. I had breakfast. And I bought a coffee cup, but I just decided not to get all these other shots. And I'm thinking, that was a mistake. I really should have. I mean, even if not for all my own enjoyment, should have gotten a lot of the more detailed areas there. So
I'm the same exact way as you. When I went there, that was kind of like the very beginning of mine. So it was like I did the same exact thing. I took the exterior shot, the front shot. I went inside, kind of looked around, and then that was basically it. Now I'm kind of like, I wish I got way more than I did. But
tell me about the birds. You said that was one of your first ones. What a great place to start. What was that experience like? Okay, what would you say is your number one trophy, the number one shot you have that you're just the most proud of?
Oh my gosh. I mean, probably classic, but the Myers house is huge for me. I'm a big horror guy, so I love, everything horror. And I went to the convention, the Halloween 2018 convention when the new film came out, and it was like the 40 years, and they did a VIP film location tour, like a bus tour. So I was on that, it was so cool. Got to meet a lot of other people who are in the hobby and everything. And and we went to the Myers house, and it was just unreal to be in that location. I think that's like one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's just cool. Okay. It's a cool experience. But I would also say I was in Wilmington not too long ago, and I did the Conjuring house, and that was a really cool one too. So, all
right.
Yeah. How about yourself?
It's funny you mentioned that. I probably shouldn't show you this. I am coming to you from an undisclosed location, but let me see. Okay, now
I see the Freddy in your back.
I'm rendering a video file right now.
Okay.
And it's outputting to a external hard drive, so I hope I don't lose a connection, because I don't know if you're in video, but if you lose a connection mid render, that's it. It's done. Let's see if I can swing you around just a little bit here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I should have done this on my phone. Where is she?
Oh, no way.
That's the real thing. That's really her.
What?
That's really her. That's the actual screen used Annabelle.
The James Wan created Annabelle?
Yeah.
No way.
It's so funny here. We're sitting here on this call, and 3 feet away from me is Annabelle.
Get out of here. Okay, you're gonna have to explain that if you can, whatever you can. I can't say.
No worries. I'm in Vancouver. I'm on this production. I'm actually at a place called Scanline, one of the big production houses.
Yep.
Well, not production, special effects houses. They're kind of like a competitor with ILM.
Sure.
So I'm just kind of this little alcove at Scanline, and this room that I get provided with whenever I'm here, ends up being my workspace. I'm surrounded by all this, this horror stuff, and
incredible.
You can see I got the governor's heads from season 2. And I turned off. They're even in water.
Oh,
but I turned that off just for audio's sake.
Amazing! That is so cool. Wow.
So anyway, and I honestly, I'm telling you, I was not planning on doing this call from here, but like I said, I thought I had another hour to go.
Works out very well.
Anyway, so do you have a place of all your shots? I would love to see all your bird shots. Is there an easy way for me to get to all that?
Yeah, I have them on our Instagram, but there's really not many. I'll have to dig them up because it's been a second. And when we went there, I didn't have all this. I didn't have the Instagram. I didn't really have anything, so I'll have to kind of dig everything up and repost everything. But it was incredible. Okay. I would highly recommend it. You could.
Now, I've been there. I've gotten a lot of the shots, but I know on the other side, on the opposite side of the bay.
Yes.
Did you do any of that stuff? I wasn't able to find any of that.
Unfortunately, we couldn't have time to do that because we're in we had a short trip planned, but I definitely want to get back there.
Obviously, the money shot is the school. Running down the road.
Totally.
And you do the best you can do with the Tides restaurant because it looks so different.
Right. We had to eat there, of course. So.
Yeah. I ate there and had a bunch of seals come up and start begging for food.
Wow, look at that.
Started barking at me from the water. Yeah.
I was going to say, okay, so going through your page I love your page because you do a little different, but you also just how nothing is the same, which is cool. Everything's a little different. You're very good at lining things up, which I really appreciate. But also your video, you kind of incorporate video a little bit too. Do you how do you plan? Is that kind of just when you're there, you kind of figure out, I want to do video, or how does that?
No, I started. Okay. So we've already said, this hobby just it's gone berserk, right? There's so many people doing it. Like I remember when I first started this, it was me and a few others, and I would share my stuff, and everyone thought I had superpowers. You know, it was like, oh, it's like I really stood out and was pretty unique because I was doing something that nobody had seen before, and people really admired it. But now there's so many people doing it, and all of our shots look exactly the same. So I started thinking, okay, I got to think of ways to try to stay fresh and be, you know, let's face it, there's not a lot of room for originality in this hobby. You know, we all kind of go to the same places and we all kind of do the same thing.
Sure.
So that was when I thought maybe video is a good way to go. So I thought if there's ever a shot in the movie or show where the camera doesn't move, you know, the shot stays nice and static, then I can incorporate the actual video version of that shot and since the camera doesn't move, it'll match my photo. So that was why I started doing that.
Okay. I think it's super cool.
It is a nice little touch just to shake things up every now and then.
For sure. And video to me, I work in video production too. So I think video is always better. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
And then the other thing that really excites me is the other thing I really enjoy is doing astrophotography, going out at night and doing pictures of the stars of the Milky Way and time lapse of the Milky Way and stuff like that. And I'm thinking if there's ever an opportunity to combine those two things where I can take really line up a shot as it was lined up in a movie, but get a starlit sky, you know, do it at night with a starlit sky, then, you know, I'm kind of combining my two loves. And obviously that's not possible in all locations, but whenever it is possible, I really try to take advantage of it. And I was just in Devil's Tower. Oh my gosh, I had this.
No way.
I had such an advanced project in mind where I was going to do that, like with all these different shots from Close Encounters and throw them together in, you know, just a nice music video. And I get out there and just clouds every night.
Oh, bummer.
So maybe next year.
100%. Yeah, I guess you can always go. You know, you can always go different places. So that's kind of fun. What's your favorite location that you've been to, or one of your favorites that you've been to?
I gotta say all the Death Valley Star Wars stuff.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, that one is such. Of course, the environment there is just there's so much drama and splendor. It's such a severe experience, especially if you go there in the summertime. You know.
Oh yeah.
But then the fact that Star Wars itself just marked my life from when I was a kid, and it's still one of the best movies of all time. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
And going there, especially going down that one canyon where R2 is wandering, and he's being stalked by the Jawas. And going there and trying to find each shot is such an Easter egg hunt, which to me, that's what I find fun. Okay. I like it when finding the shot is a challenge because then it's more fulfilling when you find it.
100%.
So yeah, all that stuff is my favorite. It's
so cool.
Either that or Martha's Vineyard for Jaws.
I want to go there so bad. That would be awesome.
Another movie that marked my life at an early age.
Sure. That's so cool. Now, what do you have on your bucket list? Like, what would you love to go to that you have not been to yet?
Man, it's
probably a million, but
well, yeah, there are so many that aren't on this continent.
Yep.
the number one that always comes to mind immediately is His Gloria from On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
That would be incredible.
In Switzerland.
Yes, my brother went there actually recently.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh,
I know.
Lucky dog.
He likes this stuff, but he's not like super into it. And I'm like, I wish I just was with you so I can take advantage of it. But yeah, it would be so.
Have you ever gotten in trouble?
It's a great question. I have not. Yeah. Luckily, a lot of people I've talked to, they haven't either. They've had like almost close experiences, but not. How about you?
Oh yeah.
Where'd you get in trouble?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Like I guess trouble is a sliding scale. Like I guess in some people's minds, simply being kicked off a place, that's trouble.
Trouble. Totally.
The ultimate story I have is Fort Knox.
Oh, okay.
You get to Fort Knox, and there are signs everywhere. No photography. No photography. No photography. Me and a buddy of mine, we went there. It was 2009, so it was a while ago. And when you get to Fort Knox, basically the road into Fort Knox is also the road into a U.S. Army base, which is separate. Straight ahead of you is like this gate to get into an army base, and then to your left, like to your 9 o'clock, is the gold depository, which that's what you want pictures of. And then I guess to maybe 10, 11 o'clock is the golf course to the army base.
Okay.
And so my buddy and I, we get there, we park, we walk across the street, and we kind of go, walk into where the golf course was, and we see all these signs. No photography, no photography. But of course, in our book, it's always better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
For sure.
So we just kind of walk by. Oh, signs? What signs? So we walk right by. We start snapping pictures. There's the guard shack for the army base is right there. It's like this is broad daylight. They can see us large as life, and we're doing it, and everything seems to be okay. So we're just snapping up a storm, and we get the shots we want. And we're just walking around very casually, get the shots we want, and then we decide, okay, we've got enough. And then my friend decides to get some shots of the actual entrance to the army base, where it's looking for Fort Knox, and then there's some army tanks there. We figure at this point, this really is no big deal. We have our cameras. We've been here for a good 15, 20 minutes. No one seems to care. All the guards all the military police at the guard shack, they're not doing anything. So my buddy decides to get pictures of the welcome to Fort Knox and the tanks. I'm ready to go. I put my camera in the car, and I'm just kind of pacing back and forth. I'm always in much more of a hurry than that. This is probably a fault of mine, but I'm always in a hurry, which it costs me sometimes. I'm
the same way.
Well, yeah, you want to be efficient, right? You want to get to the next spot.
Exactly.
So my friend's snapping, and finally, here they come. Here come the guards from the army base. So you guys were taking pictures of the depository there, right? I'm like, yeah. Okay, well, somebody from the U.S. Treasury Department is coming to see you. Don't go anywhere. All right. And it wasn't just somebody from the U.S. Treasury Department. It was the U.S. Treasury Police.
Okay.
This police cruiser that says United States Treasury Department pulls up, and he gets out and throws us in the back of the car. It gets our ID, runs this very thorough background check on us. It took us about maybe a half an hour. And we're just sitting there. Okay. I mean, he was being kind of cool, but we're thinking, wow, this, we may have bitten off more than we can chew here. So then he says, well, okay, while the results on our background check, this of course is just a few years after 9/11. So security's
okay.
So the background check is he's waiting for the information to come back on the background check. He asked for my friend's camera to review what all the shots we had taken, so they can be deleted. All the shots needed to be deleted. So this is a DSLR now, where it's got that click wheel.
Sure.
You click, preview, delete, click the wheel, preview, delete, and so on and so forth. And my friend starts going, click, delete, with the cop watching, click, delete. And then he goes, click, delete. To skip. So every other picture was being deleted at that point. And this cop is not realizing this. I'm very quietly thinking, oh, that's okay. This is good. But also, at the same time, there are pictures of me with my camera on, in these images. And he never says, hey, where's this other camera?
Oh, wow.
Remember, I had put my camera back in the car. I was ready to go. I put my camera away. I guess it was heavy.
Smart move.
So we ended up, he ended up letting us go, and we ended up coming away with some shots.
Wow.
So we didn't go all that way for all that time. So yeah, that was the hairiest situation.
That's incredible. That's such a cool story.
In terms of being in trouble. I always love those things.
Oh, they're so funny. Yeah. Luckily I've never had anything like that, but I mean, I feel like there are tons of times where that could happen for sure, but I haven't gone to Fort Knox or something like that extraneous. So it's,
yeah,
but we'll see. I know I always get scared if people are going to come out of their houses and be like, what are you doing? I feel like 98% of the time they understand.
I guess it depends on the situation. I've really adapted I've really adapted the amount of gall that I'm going to have in terms of somebody's home at this point. I used to be very daring, and you knock on the door and ask permission, and since it was a rarity in those days, that's when, they'd say, "Oh, that's cute. Okay, this is weird, but it's cute. Go ahead."
Right.
There was actually even a couple times where we would be invited in.
Oh, cool.
But now I keep my distance. I figure these people probably have 10, 20 people a day harassing them. They've been through enough. So I kind of keep my distance now. Just
probably a good idea.
With houses and schools.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a good call.
Yeah. The last thing someone wants to see
Yep.
in 2022 at a school full of kids is a dude in his 40s with a camera lurking around,
Yep. I feel that.
Limit schools to weekends and summertime.
Yes, for sure. So what kind of movies are you? I mean, you said Star Wars. What else do you into? Are you kind of into anything, like any cinema, or are you just specifically a certain genre? You like sci-fi? You like just anything?
I guess I gravitate most towards sci-fi.
Okay.
I'm a huge Spielberg fan.
Oh, awesome.
Huge Spielberg fan.
Do you have a favorite?
Golly, my favorite movie of all time is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay. Got it.
Most. Are you aware of the documentary? The Shark Is Still Working?
I actually was checking it out right before we got on this call. But if you want to go into that a little more, I would love to hear more about it.
Well, most people connect me. Most people assume it's Jaws just because of that documentary.
Right.
But Jaws is number 2, and Raiders is number 1.
Got it.
Yeah. But man, when it comes to Spielberg, I mean, he's got 7 or 8 movies that are just household names. It's
incredible.
It's so hard to really try to. I mean, you can make an argument for any one of those, So
totally. And I think what makes him stand out more than other people is that he can do any genre. He can do anything.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so hard to have be making movies, specific, good movies, but good movies in each genre too. I don't know how he does it. How do you go from E.T. to Jaws to Raiders of the Lost Ark? It's insane. It's crazy.
Well, it's Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
How in the world did the same guy do Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in the same year?
Unbelievable.
Talk about switching gears.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of the best, if not the best of all time. So,
yeah, that's big for me.
Okay.
I wouldn't call myself a comic book movie fan,
but
I do like those locations just because they're as popular as they are. I do love going to locations where I know there were special effects used.
Oh, okay, interesting.
In the shot in the movie. So,
okay.
I don't know if you saw, a couple of days ago, I just posted something from Dante's Peak, and there was an entire volcano in their shot that doesn't exist. I like when you can see a side-by-side comparison, and it's completely different. Thanks to the art of special effects. So that kind of makes me gravitate towards things like sci-fi and
cool
and the comic book movie stuff.
Okay, sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Nothing against those movies. Those movies are tons of fun. I usually see them all, but I usually forget them 3 hours after.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like Scorsese said, they really are like theme park rides.
100%, which is not a bad thing. It's
no, not at all. They're fun.
They're so fun. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. I haven't watched all of the more recent ones, but I've seen most of them, and they're fun, while they're there. But then I'm like, a day later, I'm like, oh, okay, that was fine. That was good.
Yeah.
But
like eating Chinese food, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
What about you? You said horror. What's your favorite movie?
I mean, Halloween's probably up there. I love him.
Yeah, that's where you did say that.
Big Hitchcock fan, so Psycho is really big for me. Yeah, I love a lot of older films too. I'm big I don't know. I'm big 70s and 60s, and honestly, any kind of horror, I'm into it. If it's good, I'll watch it. If it's good, I'll like it.
Now, you said you live in Austin now?
No, I'm actually in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh my gosh! I was just there.
No way.
I was there for 3 weeks. I was just there.
What were you doing?
Dang, man, we could have. You know what? Have you been to the top of the garage from Fargo?
No, not yet.
See, that's a parking garage to a private club. It's called the Minneapolis Club.
Okay.
And I was there for 3 weeks, and the whole time I'm very quietly thinking to myself, if there's one shot from Fargo, I already have a few, but if there's one shot from Fargo that would be really cool to get, it'd be to get to the top of that, that parking garage where things go wrong for Steve Buscemi, especially at night. I do like to try to be day correct or night correct if I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, I really want to do this. I actually sent the club an email saying, here's what I want to do. Here's what I have in mind. It'll only take a few minutes. Never heard back. But I had a buddy of mine just get that shot a few days ago.
No way.
Now that I'm not there anymore.
Wow. I can't believe you were here. Were you here for work or something, or were?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I was there working on a little documentary. I was there for a few weeks. And the other one that I wanted to do, there was a movie called Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yes.
Just south of Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to do like the whole. That's one of the. I'll be honest with you. I've never even seen the movie, but I've seen clips from it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one scene where there's this cantankerous old fart of a dude out in the like talking about the Frida sign. Do you know this? The scene I'm talking about? It's like,
yes.
Take down the sign, you lazy sons of bitches, with that Minnesota accent.
Yes.
It's such a funny scene, and I wanted so badly to that's the only one I cared about, was finding that one scene and that one shot. And I called City Hall from 4 different towns. There's like the main town where they filmed the movie and a few different towns around the area. Mm-hmm. I called City Hall from 4 different towns, hoping somebody, because City Halls, they have records of all this stuff, wherever permits or
sure.
or ever, traffic ever got blocked. That's how I used to find this stuff. Back before places like movielocations.com existed, I used to have to call City Hall. Do you know? So I called City Hall to 4 different towns, and none of them could help me. I was so disappointed.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
So since you're in the area,
I'm totally gonna check that out. Actually, thanks for
keep your feelers out for that parking garage and the Frida sign.
I will. Yeah, I'm totally gonna check that out.
That's unbelievable, man! I can't believe that we could have totally joined forces on some stuff.
I know.
Have you done shots from? I'm a huge fan of Beautiful Girls.
Oh yes, I actually have not yet. I have I have like a map of where I want to go and which ones I hit, but haven't gotten it. Did you go to those while you were here?
Not that well, years and years ago. I've actually just last year I was there in the wintertime. I went to the lake that they were ice skating on.
Okay, sweet.
Where the ice fishing shack was.
Mm-hmm.
I finally did that just because I happened to be there in the wintertime and I could walk out onto that frozen lake and approximate the shot as closely as possible. As far as the other shots around town, I got those years ago.
Okay, awesome. So you come here.
Unfortunately, the diner's been remodeled recently, so the diner looks a lot different. That's one of the unfortunate things we have to deal with as people who enjoy this.
I know. It's always such a bummer when something like that is so cool in the movie, then you go and you're like, oh, this is not how it used to be.
Yeah.
But things change, I guess,
It kind of ruins the shot sometimes.
That's crazy that you're here, though. That's insane.
That really upsets me.
What are the chances? I know. And what are the chances I reach out right after you leave?
Yeah, really. I left just over a week ago.
Wow. Yeah, I work with the Wild, so we've been a little slower now since the off season. So
okay, what do you do for them?
I'm a video editor, so I do all the editing for.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite. I'm a big hockey fan as well,
and
the Wild. I guess if anybody's watching this and only cares about movie locations, this is totally. I'm putting them to sleep. But the video intro for the Wild games, where it's like that. What was that song? It's.
I know what you mean. It's the
our mother was a referee.
Yes.
It was like
the state of
our knocks in the penalty box. Is that still the same, or have you redone that?
It's still the same. I think we're gonna try to maybe redo it soon, but that's still the same as it's been. So
okay,
people love that one. So
I'm a diehard Blackhawks fan, but I love that song.
Gotcha.
And I love the culture of Minnesota hockey. So that's why that song is so cool. And that intro
totally.
Is so cool.
It is fun. It's a cool environment. But are you from Chicago then?
Not originally, no. I moved there for college. I was a military brat, kind of all over the place when I was a kid, so nice. Awesome. I can't really say I'm from anywhere.
Sure. Yeah, I'm from New York.
But I'm through Minnesota quite a bit. So
okay, yeah. Please let me know next time you're here.
I'll be sure to reach out next time I'm there.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I feel like that's something I want to try to do more.
Parking garage.
Dude, we should definitely do that. Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Do what I call I call it Mission Impossible style.
I love that.
is what I call it. Whatever you gotta.
That's amazing.
You know,
now, have you been
in your own hands if you're having a hard time getting in a legit one?
Now, have you been to anything in Vancouver? Any
Yeah.
locations? Cool.
Yeah,
Which
there's
ones?
Happy Gilmore, all kinds of X-Men stuff,
Nice,
X
nice.
Files.
Cool.
Just east of Vancouver, there's a small town called Hope, and that's where the entire First Blood was filmed.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So that, of course, was a big one that had to be that deserved a few extra shots.
Totally.
That was much more than just a one and done type location.
For sure.
So I've been to quite a few of those.
Cool. Yeah, Vancouver's a huge. BC is like, I really want to go there. That's just like, there's so much out there. Like, it is out there. Bates Motel was shot out there, and big Goosebumps fan, and the Goosebumps show
right.
was out there. So yeah, there's so many things I want to go. But
what's your Hitchcock list like? I mean, the reason why I asked you where you are currently, for some reason I thought you were in Austin. I was gonna say, okay, what Hitchcock shots are close to you?
yeah, it's honestly, unfortunately, it's a small list for me. I have there's places I have so many things I want to go to. It's just I haven't gotten to yet. But I did some Psycho ones, obviously, when I was in California and Phoenix, and then the Birds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I still want to.
That's right. We talked about that.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
Oh, don't miss the Dunkin' Donuts. Yes. That's where. Where Hitchcock's cameo
That's
was.
so true. Yeah.
I don't think anybody realized that.
Right. I didn't even know. So
because in that shot, in the Hitchcock cameo shot from Psycho, the interior, I mean, that's a process shot. The interior isn't really there. That's all soundstage back in Hollywood.
Sure.
Only Hitchcock standing out on that street corner was real.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I would love to get a drone and really try to approximate, that opening shot into the window.
That would be incredible if you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually find a way into that room.
Seriously, you probably could figure
talk
it out.
about a bucket list. Talk about a money shot.
I know. I mean, I love it, man. The dedication, the passion, it's cool. I feel like that's something that uniquely we all have as these film tourists, kind of thing. We just want to get that shot. So
yeah, there are some that deserve extra effort. There's no doubt.
For sure. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I really want to go I'm a big Wicker Man fan from the 70s. So I really want to go to Scotland and do all of that at some point. That would just be cool. But
yeah, when you start talking about going overseas, it's just then the list just gets crazy.
Yeah, I thought the US was a crazy list, but
be there a month and not even LA. Like I look at LA. I think I've done a really good job of like covering this entire continent geographically speaking. Like I get to all these little nook and cranny places where nobody else goes, but for some reason I get to LA and I never have enough time, and there are all these people that have just hundreds and thousands of shots in LA that I don't have, just because I just never have the time to be as thorough as I'd like to be in that town.
Yep. I feel you. Even like now, like I wish I lived somewhere like, obviously there's a lot here in St. Paul, but it's not like LA where you every day you can go to a new spot. It's every 5 feet you go is probably something that someone shot.
Yeah. That's kind of dead. I'll tell you, do you have, the reason why I'm about to ask you this question, because I have a tragic story. Do you have like an ultimate gnashing of teeth where you thought you had an opportunity and then suddenly that opportunity disappeared, only never to return ever again?
For a location, like to visit a location?
Yeah.
Let's see. I haven't had that yet, where I haven't had the chance to go back.
Okay.
I mean, when I was at the Conjuring House, I'm bummed because apparently they're super nice and they let people in and around, which I didn't know. So I just was outside taking pictures and I could have gotten a lot more thorough, but I wasn't aware of that. So I guess that's a bummer for me, but I can also go back when,
You can always go back. Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago, I was in Los Angeles. I love the show Barry.
Okay.
I just, that show is so cool. It's just one of the shows I'm really into right now. Mm-hmm. They just finished season 3. Mm-hmm. For the first 2 seasons, have you seen the show?
Yes. I haven't seen all of it, but the first season I have.
Okay. So, the most focal location for the first 2 seasons is the acting class.
Sure.
Where the building where they Henry Winkler's acting class is. And I thought, okay, I don't have time to do like tons of Barry stuff, but that's the one place. That's the most focal location. That's the one shot that you want if you're going to get a shot from Barry. And I went there like 2 to 3 years ago, and it was me and a buddy of mine, and we went there at night. We're driving around. We must have circled this block 4 or 5 times, and it's like, what is going on here? As far as I know, we're in the right place. And then we start seeing other landmarks. Okay, there's that building. Okay, there's that tree. We're in the right place. Where in the heck is the building? The thing was demolished 2 days before we got there.
No way.
Yeah. And I was in town. I mean, I was in town while it was still, I had no clue. No clue. Like, dude, that is a heartbreak. So let that be a lesson to anybody. Don't drag your feet on these things. You never know.
Seriously, you never know. I know. Like,
you never know what's going to happen.
I heard they're going to tear down the Stranger Things middle school. I heard that's a rumor, maybe.
Yeah, I saw that article. But I heard they were going to do that to the mall like years ago.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's a bummer. I mean, it's a bummer. I want to get there while I can, but it's, I don't know when I'll have time, but I just hope they don't do that.
Yeah, hurry up. That school. I mean, kind of the same thing. If you're doing Stranger Things stuff, that school is one of the most important places. It's still there for now. How often are you able to travel?
Not as much as I would like to, honestly, but hopefully in the next coming months, I'll probably be traveling. I have a couple of trips planned. I'm going back to Savannah in like a couple weeks, so I'm definitely going to go do a bunch of stuff there. Okay. And then nothing else planned, but I'm trying to plan more trips around the locations. Like I had a trip planned in September for Hereditary, but that had to get canceled, unfortunately.
Okay.
But, I went to
Savannah is it's not Hitchcock, but it's a movie that a lot of people for some reason think is Hitchcock, and that's Cape Fear, the original Cape Fear.
Yes, totally. That is so true. Actually, people always think that is Hitchcock.
yeah. I don't know how that started. Maybe it's just it's black and white and it's scary. I don't know, but. It's still a good movie and still worth your time. There's still tons of great stuff to get there. So
totally, yeah.
Should be sure to have that on your list. And of course, what else is there? Forrest Gump.
Yep. If you have any, just send it my way. I mean, I have a list, but I'm always down to compare.
Oh, and the other one, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Oh yeah, right, totally.
Is Savannah, and if you want, it's kind of tricky and it's not incredibly visually compelling, but you can find the exact spot where the famous statue would have been in the movie.
Okay.
At the cemetery.
Sweet.
So if you want to connect, I'll show you my shot so you know what to look for. And
that would be awesome. Like that. Yeah.
It's it's like whether you're a fan of that movie or not, it was directed by Clint Eastwood, and that image is pretty iconic.
For sure.
Because that was actually the poster. So
right.
I'm sure to hook you up with that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that. That'd be really cool.
Plus Savannah in the summertime is pretty gorgeous.
I love it. I went to college there and I absolutely loved it. So it was
so
I go back every year, but when I was in college, I wasn't really into this film tourism thing. So, but I am. So yeah, it's cool. I know. I would also love to go to South Carolina and hit the Stranger's house. I think it's like, I don't know how far it is from, I don't know exactly where, but it's you have to drive, obviously. Yeah.
Which house?
The Strangers.
Not familiar with that.
Have you seen? Okay, it's from 2008. It's a horror movie, so I don't know.
Okay. I think for me, for the most part, horror ended in the 80s.
I get that. I totally get that.
That's just me, but I'm not the biggest horror fan, but I love the classics.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. You can appreciate them at least. Yeah. It's funny because a lot of people who are into this hobby, like a lot of them are horror fans. Cause like I started off just doing horror locations and then I was like, oh, you might as well do others because they exist. But yeah, this whole thing started out as just a horror location list.
That's kind of how, maybe that's true of all of us. Like you start with the bar very high. Like you have your favorites and you zero in on your favorites and you kind of skip the stuff that you care less about. But as you do this more and more, the bar has to get lower and lower in order to keep doing it because you start running out of stuff to do, right?
Exactly. Yes, totally.
I can't think of any examples, but there have been locations that I probably went to multiple times and just said, and then finally I thought, okay, might as well. Do you have like an ultimate, just an absolute, like where you've had the worst luck, where you've tried multiple times, you've just come up short for one reason or another? Like,
luckily, no, actually, not yet. Really? I've been running lucky on that one. There, I mean, like you were saying, there has been times where I've gone to places and like walked past some things like, oh, I'll get back to this one. And I just never do it. I completely forget. And I'm like, oh, like, when I lived in Portland, Oregon, like I was there for about 3.5 years, and, there's a Stand By Me, like, an hour or so south. And then there's a couple other locations around there, but there was like a couple Stand By Me locations that like we drove right past and we didn't go to. And it's like, it's just far enough where you don't want to go back and like drive all the way down. It's like, but I mean, at some point, hopefully, but I guess regretting not doing all of them is a thing, but I don't know. How about you?
Yes. I have this ultimate albatross of a location. It's from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
Oh, I just watched that one. Amazing.
It's the house where they meet Tim Robbins, and which in my opinion, the movie kind of goes downhill from that point on.
Agreed.
But that scene, because you have all the tripods coming up over the hill and just wiping out all those people, and there's this kind of migration. It's a cool scene with a lot of really cool shots, and I found the location thanks to like hours and hours of Google Earthing. It's one of those locations like nobody knows where it is. You can look at any resource that has movie locations, and the information's not out there. But I know exactly where it is, and it's way out in the country in Virginia, and it's on a big piece of property, and there's a bunch of hills. You can't see the house from the roads where it's on, but I know it's there. Mm-hmm. And I get there, and there's a gate, and like I said, when it comes to people's homes, I'm very respectful. I'm not going to trespass when it comes to people's homes. But I always go there, and I'll just kind of sit there by this gate for maybe a half an hour or so, just hoping eventually that somebody will come out to this barn that's close by, or someone will enter or exit, and I can just talk to them and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. May I have permission? And it never happens. I've been there a good 7 or 8 times over the past 10 years, hoping to have that opportunity. One year I even sent them a Christmas card.
No way.
I sent the family a Christmas, because I know the address since I've been there. I sent them a Christmas card. Merry Christmas. This is who I am. This is what I do. These are my links.
I love that.
Is there any chance? And it came back returned to sender. I thought, my gosh,
no way. What?
Hopefully before I die, I can finally get this one.
I know. I hope you get it too. Like, now I'm going to be rooting for you just to get it.
And I always go in the wintertime, because in the scenes in the movie, all the trees in the shot are all dead. So I don't want to go in the summertime when the leaves are in. I want my shot to match as closely. So I'll probably try again this year.
I mean, I hope you do. It would be a really cool location to go to. So I get why you want to get there.
It's a neat scene. So and I hopefully have the luxury of knowing that, since nobody knows where this house is, that they don't have to shoo all of us away. And
sure.
By the time I finally do make contact, I'll say, oh yeah.
And you'll probably be like the first one to do it too. So that's pretty cool.
Hopefully, maybe. Man.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I had a similar, like the Goonies. I think recently the owners have changed from some of the houses, but when I was in Portland, like I went to the Astoria a couple of times, and each time there was a bunch of signs saying, no trespassing, and it was very hard to get to the house. So I think that's one where I haven't been able to get, actually. So I tried multiple times, but
that's worth a shot. That house has changed ownership in the past few years.
So,
and it seemed like the new owners, as soon as they got there, they kind of welcomed the fans in again. Like they put up this sign. There used to be a sign that said, "Goonies welcome, just walk up."
Oh, driveway. Cool. Yeah.
And then that sign got replaced by "No Goonies allowed." Right. Then the new owners showed up, and they put the old sign back up, saying, "Yeah, it's okay. Just make sure you walk." But I went there. Gosh, was it last year or the year before? And the no Goonies allowed sign was back. So I don't know. Maybe it depends on the time.
Yeah, maybe they flip it.
I know the thing that ruined it was there was a big 30th anniversary where just thousands of fans came from all over the world, all at the same time, and they showed up and they started being disrespectful and taking stuff and vandalizing, and that was when the original owner said, "Okay, enough is enough. We're out of the hospitality business."
Totally get that. Yeah.
But if you're if you're ever in that area, I think it's worth still trying and
definitely
going by there just to see what happens.
For sure. Yeah, I'd love to get back there at some point.
Hopefully those new owners aren't completely over it.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I do appreciate when the owners are into it too. It's kind of cool when they embrace it.
Yeah. The Edward Scissorhands house.
Yes, I want to go there so bad.
They're good, man.
Yeah, have you been then?
Yeah, I have.
Cool.
Yeah, I went there last summer.
Oh, so cool.
And I guess they're having some kind of battle with their homeowners association with their neighborhood. Maybe the neighborhood doesn't like the fact that all these fans kind of invade their little hamlet. I don't know, but I talked to him and pretty much he didn't insist, but he very strongly hinted that if I were to, make a donation to this GoFundMe campaign, to help their battle against their HOA, that things would go well for me. So I was like, yeah, sure, throw some money in there.
All right.
And we showed up, and he invites us right in. We get shots in the kitchen, and I'm sure you've seen other people's shots there. They're into it.
That's awesome. You got to.
It's like you're walking into an Edward Scissorhands museum.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then they let you into the backyard. It's fantastic. It is not a wasted trip.
Okay. Now, do you have to talk to them before, or do you kind of just show up and be like, "Hey, could I tour?"
Yeah. He knew I was coming.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
He does want there to be a scheduled appointment, which
makes sense.
That's good for both parties. I mean, it'd be sad to show up there and have nobody be home. So
yeah, for sure.
It's good to think. But I think follow him on Instagram. I think it's our Scissorland.
Yes, I believe it's our Scissorland. Mm-hmm.
So they're very reachable through there. And,
okay. Cool.
Not a hard process whatsoever.
I love loving that. And the guy who you just bought Buffalo Bill's house too, kind of recently.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
So that's an Airbnb, right?
Yeah. Yep. And you basically get the whole house. So you rent it and you get the whole house. So
okay.
That's cool. Yeah. I actually, we had a conversation. We had a little podcast episode, me and the guy, the owner, Chris, and he's super cool. So I definitely want to check it out. Yeah. That's
a great one. I was in Pittsburgh for just the museum on the Pittsburgh University.
Okay.
I think it's called the Sailors and Soldiers Museum. It's got that big giant ballroom, and that's where Hannibal Lecter's cage was.
Oh, awesome!
So I went there. I was actually I was there with Sean Clark.
No way!
Grounds.
Malfunction.
Yeah. He and Buzz and Larry DiVincenzo. Those are his two main supporting crew guys for that show. The four of us were there. Gosh, wow, that was so long ago. Well, we lined those shots up for that was a great one.
Oh, cool!
And they did the Buffalo Bill house, but I was on my way to Philadelphia at the time and I missed out on it. But
got it. Okay,
it's awesome that they got the Airbnb thing going now.
Yeah.
And also in Atlanta, Tony Stark's cabin in Avengers Endgame is now an Airbnb.
No way.
And I know right after the movie came out, because the movie was still very popular, getting a ton of buzz, I think they were charging $800 a night, and you had to do a 3-night minimum.
Whoa.
But that was, like I said, that was right after the movie came out. They were probably able to. There was probably enough demand to meet that.
Totally.
Maybe the price has gone down now. I'll tell you what. One of my favorite follows on Instagram is Hollywood IRL.
Yep. Steve, I've chatted with him too. Super cool.
He reached out to me because he was planning on doing that. And he's one of my favorite. I tell you what, when you talk to, one of the things I admire most about the people that do these shots is the accuracy.
Yes.
Agreed. The accuracy is not always easy. Just because distance.
Oh yeah, lenses.
Sometimes it's hard to judge distance. And he nails it every time.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He nails it every time. He's just, there are certain details that a lot of us miss. And he just seems to get it every single time. So you can tell he knows what he's doing when it comes to a camera. But he reached out to me and he was planning on going there and doing those shots.
Got it.
I wasn't able to be there at the time, but he's the one that told me about those prices. I thought, oh my gosh, that's
I mean, that'd be super cool, but
but that's another one.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say they embrace it the way the Edward Scissorhands people do, but they're capitalizing on it.
Sure, of course. That's great.
Another one is Indiana Jones's house from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That was a bed and breakfast, long before Airbnb was a thing. It's probably an Airbnb now.
Uh-huh.
That's right along the Colorado and New Mexico border.
Okay. I had no idea. Cool.
And they basically like the main opening room is like an Indiana Jones museum where they still have some of the artifacts there. And yeah, it's really cool when you find the ones that really play up on the experience of it.
Totally. Yeah. I know the Outsiders House too. I know they do it at like a little museum as well.
In Tulsa?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's not too far from you. That's
no. Yeah. Yeah.
That's worth the trip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
If you do Tulsa, you got to do the Outsiders and you got to do Weird Al Yankovic's UHF.
Yes. Didn't even think about that one, but yes.
Yeah, that was all Tulsa, man.
Yeah. And I know Field of Dreams is not too far from here too, the house. That's like,
whoa, hang on. Oh, wait. I got to get Austin out of my mind.
Yeah, I'm not Austin.
Okay. St. Paul. Yeah, Field of Dreams is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one. Actually, Iowa is a surprisingly packed state.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And you have Children of the Corn.
Children of the Corn. You got Bridges of the Madison County.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The American Gothic House. I know that's not a movie, but holy moly, talk about a pop culturally iconic image.
Yeah.
That house is down there.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Holly's death.
Yeah. Clearwater or Clear Lake. Clearwater.
Yeah, Clear Lake. Yeah.
Yep. I would love to go because I would love to go there at some point.
So yeah, maybe not so much movie stuff, but pretty much anything pop culturally. There's a lot of pop
culture. Which is funny
because John Wayne's birth home.
Oh, cool! Did not know that.
Yeah, that's the town where Bridges of Madison County is the same town.
Got it. Okay, that's good to know. Cool.
That's where John Wayne was born. So
sweet. I'm into that. Do you have any trips or anything coming up that you're for locations?
Once I'm done here, I'll gradually work my way south. I'm a wildly nuts about the whole Breaking Bad / Better Call Saul.
Nice. Sweet.
World, and I get there every summer. I try to spend a month there every summer, cool. Especially while the new season keeps on rolling out. So obviously they're in their final season now, so I'm going to want to go there and stock up.
Sure.
So that's my next big one. Okay. But I'll probably take my time working my way down there. As a matter of fact, I might stop in Devil's Tower again to try to do what I wasn't able to do this last time.
Like you have to, yeah.
I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
This little video that I have in my mind is amazing. I just can't ever.
You'll do it.
I was there last year, and it was like wildfires blocking out the stars. Like, it's always something, man.
It'll happen. I feel it.
Did I ask you about your ultimate bucket list item?
Yeah, I have a few. I mean, Camp Crystal Lake from Friday 13th is a huge one for me.
Oh, okay.
Would love to go there. Let's see. I mean, anything in really Vancouver. Goosebumps, I think, is a huge one for me. I just love the show. A big fan of that cheesy 90s show. Let's see. Yeah, Scotland for Wicker Man. I mean, there's some the Rocky locations. I've done a few, but I would love to go to Philly and do all of the Rocky locations because that would be super.
That's another good one for me. That's one of the ones where I got it way early in the game, and I just did that one iconic shot on the steps, and I was happy, and I walked away.
Yeah, right.
And now I want to go back and do everything.
Right. I feel you. Yeah.
That and Blowout.
Oh yeah, yep.
My next big quality time in Philadelphia has got to be Rocky and Blowout.
That would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Find the exact spot where he was doing that recording, right? By that
would be awesome.
That little river. It's
yes.
It's findable.
It's definitely fine. Everything is findable. You can definitely do it.
Yeah.
I studied abroad in New Zealand when I was in college, and I went to Lord of the Rings, and it was incredible. We went to Hobbiton and everything, and it was
okay. Now, please tell me that wasn't before. I mean, were you doing this then?
No.
Oh gosh.
But I got a bunch of pictures at Hobbiton and everything. I did a lot of matching up there. But when I was living in Wellington for a few, obviously 4 or 5 months, but I went to the locations and maybe took a picture or two, but it wasn't like it is now. And I'm I mean, I would love to go back. Obviously, I'm going to try to go back at some point, but like that was, yeah, it was incredible just being there. But I wish I could have the picture to kind of show for it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you poor thing.
I know. I was just like this young college kid, and now I'm just like, oh, bummer. But guess you'll learn.
I have a few. Gosh, I've been doing this so long, but I have some that were taken originally on film.
Oh, cool. That's amazing.
And a few of them are at the Jaws 2 hotel, which doesn't exist anymore. It was destroyed by a hurricane in Pensacola.
Mhm.
And I think and even then there were like all these shots. I was like, yeah, don't need that one, don't need that one, don't need that one. Now that hotel's gone.
Well, at least you got to go there though. I mean,
yeah,
man.
You live, you learn. You live, you learn.
Exactly.
What are your because I'm constantly discovering new people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my focus has kind of transitioned into the Instagram world, which is where there's more of a quote unquote community.
Sure.
That's somewhat recent for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like any top few recommendations as far as follows? I would imagine I probably already have them, but what are some off the top of your head?
We probably very similar, but I mean, Leslie Love Location.
Yeah.
Ryan's great from Going to the Movies. Set Jetter, obviously, Robert, I'm sure you probably know him.
I know.
Nerd Locations, all about Los Angeles, and then Hollywood in Real Life. I was gonna, you mentioned him.
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
I love Nerd Locations shots. Man.
He's great. Yeah, we did a live stream not too long ago, and he's fun to.
What is that?
We did a live stream not too long ago, and he was super cool to chat with and everything. Real to Real Locations, another one, Brian.
Okay, let me hang on. Real is it?
It's Real 2 as in the number, and then REAL.
Okay, and his name is Brian?
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't sound familiar. I'll make sure to hunt that down. I love Nerd Locations shots just because, like I said, there's not a lot of room for originality in this hobby, and the fact that he does the Where's Waldo or the Kilroy thing.
Exactly.
Or the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Yes,
that's wonderful. That's fantastic. He found like this thing that's all his.
It's cool.
And that I hope nobody copies.
Right. He's so like you see a picture and I know immediately who it is. It's really cool. It's kind of nice to see that.
That's great.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I'll be so offended for him if somebody copies that.
Me too. I know. Well, we'll all know he's the OG, so we won't worry about it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, cool. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Like again, I really appreciate you hopping on. It's been really fun.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, good to talk to you. Maybe we can catch up and just see if we have any just new tips.
Always. I'm always down. Feel free to reach out.
6 months down the road, 1 year down the road, any new experiences. Actually, okay, here, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you keep track? Where are you on the research end of things of trying to actually find stuff that where information hasn't really emerged yet?
What do you mean? Like, what do I do for that? Or
I mean, do you spend time actually trying to find new information that's not really out there yet?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. Especially some like random B horror movie that I love. It's kind of fun to just. First of all, it's hard to find out, like especially with those types of movies. Like I'll even go on IMDb and try to contact like location managers or something. I mean, it rarely works out. Nice. I'll say, but it's maybe like I think it's worked once maybe, but it's rewarding to kind of find those locations. And it's actually cool to hear that you say you like that too. And I feel like a lot of people do like that aspect of it, is like finding the locations themselves. It's like super rewarding and stuff. But like, and like, that's another thing is like, we have our app and website and stuff. And it's like, it's so easy to look, but I'm like, it's because I know there are people who just don't want to do the research. I'm like, okay, go for it. But it's kind of fun to have all that research and like knowledge and like, oh, you're in Iowa, no one else has ever been here. Like, go to that place. Like, cool.
It really, really is. The reason why I asked that is right now I'm trying so hard. Maybe not. Obviously not hard enough. But did you see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once by any chance?
Not yet. I need to see it though.
Okay. There's one particular scene in it that just it was a very unique experience in the theater because there is no audio coming from the movie.
Okay.
Yet the laughter, it's like the movie is providing no audio. It's pretty much dead silence, yet it's getting laughter out of the crowd. I don't think I've ever experienced that before.
Cool.
But it takes place out in the desert, and I want so badly to find where that shot happened.
Mhm.
And I think it was around the Death Valley area, but I haven't been able to get to an exact location on it yet. Hopefully by the time I'm down in that envelope, which, like I said, I'm heading in that general direction soon, hopefully I'll find it by then.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so cool. That'd be awesome.
Hopefully, I don't know how many people watch these, but if there's anybody else, like
totally,
any of the other big stalkers that we named.
Oh, for sure. I bet you we could find a.
We all want a challenge.
Exactly. I can tell you right off the bat. I know a few people who would be down. So.
All right. Well, cool, Joe. Yeah, let's stay in touch, and sure. I've enjoyed this. I'll be happy and thrilled to do it again.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it whenever. And please next time you're in St. Paul, let me know. We'll connect. Grab a beer.
All right. Cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, that I might be there this fall.
Cool. Well, I'll be here. So.
So if I am, I'll definitely reach out and we can see about that Fargo garage.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'll put that in my calendar. Let's do it.
That'd be a really cool one.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one.
Cheers, brother.
All right. Bye.